everyone. So it has been a hot minute since I have picked up the camera. I feel like I've been super busy lately with work and other things going on, and so I have not had as much time to vlog. But I just wanted to say, I think the last thing I filmed was the day out from over a week ago now, which was when we went to the Scallop Shell in Bath, and we had lunch there, and we went to see the Devil Wears Prada too. So I wanted to quickly tell you about that because it was a really lovely day. So if you are a seafood lover and you're visiting Bath, we highly recommend going to the Scallop Shell. Now, as you can imagine, as if you know, seafood is not cheap. So it's not the most affordable place to go. However, it wasn't horrendous. And actually, Tom got this lunch deal that they do where you get a mug of tea and fish and chips for only 15 pounds. So that was really good. So Tom had that, and I had the monkfish tail with new potatoes. I've never had monkfish before, and it was phenomenal. So I loved it. Mine was more expensive than Tom's meal, but it was so good. So highly recommend the Scallop Shell. It's a huge place too. They have different places to sit. You could sit downstairs and watch them make your food from the kitchen, or you could sit indoors upstairs or outdoors upstairs. So we sat outdoors kind of on this terrace, sort of. There's not really a view, but you're outside. So we had the sun shining on us, and it was really lovely. So yeah, I would love to go back for dinner sometime as well. And we just really recommend it if you're a seafood lover like us. So 10 out of 10 for the Scallop Shell. And for the Devil Wears Prada too. So I was really excited to see this movie, and Tom came along because I don't know, I like that Tom is just he's open to whatever with me, and I love it. So we went to this movie together. We went to the Everyman Cinema in Bath, which is like a nicer, kind of more vintage vibe. It kind of reminds me of the 20s, and it's just kind of an older, like, I don't know how you describe it. It has an older feel to it, but it's really cool as well and somewhat modern. It's the kind of place where they can bring food to you, and you can eat while you watch instead of just having popcorn. They've got like lots of options, but because we had lunch beforehand, we didn't order any food. So we just had some water. And so it was actually better than I thought. I have to tell you, the movie, when they do sequels like this, I'm always hesitant because I think most of the time they're never as good as the original, especially all these years later when they decide to come back to a movie. I'm always like, oh gosh, like please don't ruin it. Why do that? Like an example of a bad one was Enchanted. Love the original movie Enchanted. I grew up watching that phenomenal movie. I watched it the other night with Tom. And Disenchanted, the one they made like all those years later, awful. Similar to like Frozen, not that it was, I don't think it was so many years later, but Frozen 2, not as good as Frozen. So like, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I was quite hesitant, but it was better than I thought it would be. Now I'm not going to spoil anything, so don't worry if you haven't seen it, but I want to tell you what I liked about it and I guess what I didn't like so much, but I'm not going to like go on about this. I just kind of wanted to share my thoughts. So some of the things I liked: the music, the entire soundtrack. Chef's Kiss. I don't know who was in charge of that. They did a really great job. There were a few songs that I think were written for the movie by Lady Gaga, Sienna Spiro. I don't know if they wrote those songs, but they sang them for the movie and they were really good. The whole playlist, even the songs you could hear in the background of some of the scenes, were really good. And yeah, it was amazing. There were a lot of celebrity cameos, which I was kind of like, was it necessary? But it was also kind of cool, so that was kind of mixed for me. I don't know how I felt. So I'm like, yeah, a few celebrity cameos and designer cameos, which that was cool. The designers were cool. I don't know if other celebrities were necessary, but it was still fun. The fashion, obviously. I think the budget for this movie was massive. I don't even want to know. It was huge because the fashion was incredible. It's definitely a step up from the first movie. I'd imagine the budget was much bigger for this one, and I feel like they went all out with the fashion moments, which was really fun. Some of the things I would not wear, some I would, but like the amount of outfit changes they had for this movie is insane because when you think about it, like I don't know if you saw on Instagram when they were filming The Devil Wears Prada 2, there was a clip of Anne Hathaway kind of like skipping down these stairs and she fell, and that's not in the movie, obviously. That was an accident when she fell, but that clip kind of went viral online. And she was wearing an amazing skirt that I loved. But you know what's crazy about that scene is that that is a scene that they probably spent a lot of time filming, but in the actual movie, that was maybe a few seconds on your screen and it was done. And it makes me think about actors and filming movies and shows and how many times you have to repeat something that the audience is only going to see for a few seconds on their screen. Like, I always think about that and I'm like, man, these things probably take so long to film and then edit. Insane. So, I mean, everyone involved in that kind of industry, I mean, props to them, because I don't think I could do it. I really couldn't, but it's pretty amazing when you think about it. But yeah, all the outfit changes, it was just really cool to watch and to see it all come together. Also, there was a plot to this movie, which was good, because again, sometimes they bring back all these actors to make a sequel and there's no plot and you're like, was the point of this just for the actors to come back and have a moment together, or were they actually thinking about what the fans wanted? And there was actually a pretty good plot to this movie, I have to say. I was surprised, and it kind of touches on technology and how physical magazines have turned digital over time, and with the rise of AI, how that kind of plays a role now, and how a lot of jobs have changed because of digital media and AI. So it kind of touched on that. I will say some of the things I didn't like. I think it went a bit too far with the whole digital scene, like especially the first half of the movie. I would say the second half of the movie got better. The first half I was kind of like a few cringe moments, a few cringe lines, but they would constantly show someone on their phone, they would show the screen, someone on their laptop, they would show the screen, and it felt like a lot of screen time. And I was like, okay, we get it, it's gone digital now, but I could get past it, I could look past it, but it was just kind of a lot, especially in the first half, like I said. Some more dramatic moments that I wasn't expecting to. I was like, what the heck? But overall, again, the second half got much better, or maybe after like the first 45 minutes or so, I'm not sure, but it did get better. They also filmed in Milan and Lake Como. I have been to both Milan and Lake Como. That was our honeymoon spot. Beautiful place. Sorry, there's a helicopter flying over us at the moment. But yeah, so the filming locations, stunning as you can imagine. A somewhat unexpected villain thrown in there. Ended on good terms though. The ending was actually really sweet. There's a moment between Stanley Tucci and Anne Hathaway, their characters, that was really sweet, and also between Emily Blunt and Anne Hathaway. And the whole ending, again, I'm not going to give anything away, but just the whole ending clip was really sweet, and I just think it all ended on happy kind of terms for everyone, and it was just really nice. So actually, really good movie. I wouldn't say it was better than the first. I think the first was kind of more of its time, but there's something nostalgic about that I think people appreciate more. I sometimes think that when there's a smaller budget and maybe lesser known actors, it's a fresh idea, it stands out more. Whereas when you come back to something all these years later with a bigger budget, these are now famous movie stars that have been around for years, it's a different feel to it. It's much more modern, which is good in a way, but I don't know, maybe we're all stuck in the past. I don't know what it is, but there's something about nostalgic movies that we grew up with that like we almost don't want anyone to touch it. We're like, leave it alone. But I will say, it was not a bad sequel. It wasn't the most amazing movie in the world, but actually it's one that I might rewatch in the future, because sometimes you see a movie and you're like, I don't need to see that again. I'm good. But this one, I could see myself maybe watching it again. Not all the time, but it wasn't bad. So yeah, I do recommend seeing it if you haven't already. I also really want to go see the new Michael movie, which we're going to try and do. I've heard good things. Tom has heard not as many good things, so we'll see. My sister and my mom saw it and really liked it. I think I'm gonna like it. I like those movies when it's about a celebrity in their life. Like I loved the movie Bohemian Rhapsody. All of that I think is really cool. So I'm excited for the Beatles movie that's gonna come probably in a few years' time, but I think that's gonna be really cool to watch as well. So Michael is on the list, and there's another movie that came out recently about space. I think Ryan Gosling is in it, and I can't remember what it's called, but I want to see that as well. I think this is the time of year for movies as well, because I think all throughout winter and fall I was like, well, nothing's in theaters that I want to see, and now everything's coming out and I'm like, I probably would like that. So that's my little rant about movies. I need to be done with that, but I do want to talk about books as well. So if you don't know, last year I read 30 books, and that was a huge accomplishment for me as someone who only got back into reading in like September of 2024. So I got into a massive reading slump at the end of last year, and partly because of Heated Rivalry, the show. Oh my goodness, you guys. So I was just so hooked on that I have been in such a reading slump, so I decided to read the books. So I read Heated Rivalry. I just finished The Long Game. I'm so excited for season 2. So if you are in a slump because of Heated Rivalry, read the books. Because actually it got me back into reading. Phenomenal book. Better than Heated Rivalry, I think, but I loved both, so I am so excited for season 2. Anyway, finally back into reading again, and yeah, these 2 books, I sped through them. I loved them so much. I knew I would. And now, today, I'm going to be starting a book by my favorite author, Abby Jimenez. Her newest book, The Night We Met. I'm so excited to start this one, you guys. I've heard nothing but good things. She is my favorite author. You already know I've read all of her books. And so when this one came out this year, I knew I had to read it. And yeah, I'm very, very excited for it. So I'll let you know what I think. I think I'm going to get through it quite quickly, but I haven't even started it yet. The whole kind of concept is interesting. At first I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to feel about that, but I actually think it's going to be so good. She can do no wrong, in my opinion. So I'll let you know what I think, but I'm so happy to be back into reading, because other than the Heated Rivalry books, you know, and The Long Game, those 2, I didn't read the whole Game Changer series, but besides those 2 books, I've read one other book this year. So I'm getting back into it. If I don't read 30 plus books this year, I'm not going to be hard on myself. Whatever I can read, but reading slumps happen and they're not fun. But it's so nice to be back into it. I'm just going to show my outfit real quick, and then I need to get going. I'm actually heading out for lunch with my in-laws today. Unfortunately, Tom is working today, but he's also sick, so I feel really bad for him. But we're heading out to celebrate Tom's uncle's birthday, and I was like, I wish you were here with us. I feel so sad, but he was like, you go and enjoy it. So that's what we're doing today. So my outfit. So this top is stunning. I got this from TJ Maxx when we were in the US. I just love how frilly and feminine and girly it is. I love blue and white together, especially in this kind of floral print. A part of me feels like it's a bit old lady-ish, but if you know me, you know I kind of love that. So I don't mind. And then my pants, these are from M&S. They're just navy. I know you can't really see them, but they're kind of navy. They're just a straight leg. I actually got them for work, but I've been waiting for it to get a little warmer to wear them. It's been, you guys, spring is taking way too long to arrive here. It is May 16th, and it's only just now, like, starting to warm up. I put my big jacket away a while ago, but I still have to wear a jacket. I just can't wait for the day when all I need is a light raincoat hanging on the back of the store behind me, and I love going out without a coat or a jacket. It's so nice. So looking forward to that, and next week is going to be warmer. But anyway, yeah, these are just some navy pants from M&S. I'm going to throw on a belt to complete the look a bit more, and I'm going to bring a bag with me. I don't know which one yet, but we'll see. I have a couple options. But yeah, we're just going to a pub lunch. It's nothing fancy, but I'm really looking forward to it. We've eaten out quite a bit lately. Tom and I also went to a place in Bath, another place that we highly recommend called Comptoir and Cuisine. It's kind of this French bistro style place. We've been there once before, and it's so good, you guys. The first time we went, we kind of had this sharing fondue. So good. I'm a huge cheese lover. Tom's a huge cheese lover. And then the other night after work, we went out together, and I had snails. Escargot for the first time. I had never tried snails, and I have to say I'm not a fan. Tom tried, he ordered them, so he ate them. I tried one and I was like, I'm good. They were very like salty or vinegary and chewy. Oh, I don't know. I tried it. I can say I've tried it. I don't need to try it again. But I had camembert with some bread. It was like a camembert truffle thing. Phenomenal. So good. I also had a chicken, or like a chicken leg. They were more like, kind of more like sharing little dishes, but it was so good. And then Tom and I shared this amazing chocolate dessert. It was so amazing. So another recommendation for Bath. There are so many places we love in Bath, but Comptoir and Cuisine, so nice. And they were doing 30% off food on Thursdays. So that's another, I think that's an ongoing deal they have. So just keep that in mind as well. But I'm gonna get going, and I don't know what part of this video, I don't know, this is probably getting on a bit, maybe. So we'll see where we end up, but yeah, gonna get going, and I'll catch up soon. Hello everyone. So today is Wednesday. It is a day off for Tom and for me, and we are taking it slow. It has been a beautiful, just slow-paced morning. Not the nicest day out, a bit rainy today, but recently we have had such a heat wave in the UK. It's been crazy. I think it's been in the 80s, close to 90 degrees. For quite a few days in a row, it was so hot and unexpected. It was kind of nice though in a way, but also just it's so funny. Like, I overheard someone at work the other day saying that no matter what the weather, the British complain, which makes me laugh. It's either too hot or it's raining or cold or whatever, but it made me laugh. It's funny because a heat wave in the UK feels like North Carolina heat to me. And you would think I'd be used to that because I spent like 10, 11 years living in North Carolina. So you would think that heat is something I'd be kind of cool with. And when there is air conditioning, I'm good. In the UK, air conditioning in older buildings is not as common. So thank God for our Dyson fan that was blowing some cool air for us in the house. But man, yeah, I'm never prepared for that, especially at night. It's always so hard to fall asleep because the window's open. I feel like all it does is just let in the hot air. But anyway, I have to say I can't complain because the sunshine was so beautiful, and I would rather that than a rainy day. But you know what? I'm like, I feel like we reached a point where I'm like, you know, rain was kind of needed. I'm not mad at it. So anyway, I did want to talk about what we got up to recently, and then, I mean, today's not like the most exciting day, but I can share that with you anyway. So the last thing you saw was maybe a hike or a walk that we did, and also a day in Wales. So we have been doing lots more walking lately now that it's getting warmer in the UK and we had some sunshine. So it's been just great to get outside in it and enjoy it. I'm starting to get a little bit of a tan, which makes me so happy. And yeah, we've just been doing lots more walking and hiking because we have a hiking trip coming up that I cannot wait to share with you. I'm gonna spare the details until the trip comes along. There's gonna be a whole travel vlog for that video, or for that trip. I'm so excited about it. I'm very nervous though as well. So I can't wait to share it with you. Lots more details coming up on that later on. But for now, we're just kind of preparing for it. Lots of walking, and we're planning a hike in Wales coming up as well, hopefully, if all goes well. So we have some hiking gear. We've been ordering lots of things, buying lots of things, and we have a few more things on our list we need to get to prepare for this hike. But again, I'll share that later on. And also our day in Wales. So Wales is a beautiful little, technically it's a city, I think, because if there's an abbey, then the area is considered a city. But also this is a cathedral, Wales Cathedral. So I don't know if you'd call Wales a city, but either way, it's a beautiful little place. And it's just so lovely. It has the oldest residential street in Europe. And it's just really cool. So we went there for the day. They had a market that day. On Wednesdays and Saturdays, I think they do a market, but it was so hot. People were starting to pack up, I think, a little early, but just nice to walk around and see it. We went into a few shops, and we had a booking at a restaurant called The Swan. It's also a hotel. We had a voucher to use, so we had £50 to spend. So we had a free meal, which was amazing. We had, I'm trying to think, I had the chicken supreme, which if you know me, that's like my favorite dish. Chicken, vegetables, gravy, I'm in heaven. So it was my favorite dish, so I had that. I'm trying to think what Tom had. I think it was more like some sort of steak sandwich type thing. We shared some halloumi fries, always good. And I'm trying to think what we had for dessert. I think it was just a chocolate brownie with some ice cream. And it was just a really nice place. It was very quiet, kind of dead in there. We were like the only ones in the restaurant because I think a few people were out on the terrace having a drink overlooking the cathedral, but it was quite hot that day, so we stayed inside. But it was really nice, great food. So if you're in Wales, the Swan is really nice for food. And then we went to go to the movie theater to see the new Michael movie. And I want to talk about it. I won't share spoilers, but wow. So I have to say, I was never a massive Michael fan. Growing up, my parents did play their music, or his music sometimes. And, you know, I liked it. I thought it was fun, especially like Thriller was obviously a huge one. And my dad is a big like movie lover, and he loves music, so he would always play the music videos as well growing up. But I never really considered myself like a Michael Jackson fan. But I really wanted to see this movie because I love biopics. As I mentioned maybe earlier in this video, I'm talking more movies again. But yeah, so I love biopics, and also I think the creator of this movie is the same creator who made Bohemian Rhapsody. So I knew I was gonna love this movie. So I went into it hearing a few good reviews. As I said, Tom maybe heard less good reviews, but I went into it really optimistic, and we went together, and it was really, really good. I was blown away. Jafar Jackson, who plays Michael, is his nephew in real life, which is so cool and crazy. Quite the experience, and it seems like he prepared and really studied this role so much, because you would think that being his nephew, the role would just kind of be handed to him. But I don't think he has acted before this, at least not for a major movie, so this was a huge deal for him. And he spent, I think, 2 years preparing for this role, taking acting lessons, dancing lessons, everything you could imagine. And I heard that the songs obviously were Michael Jackson's voice, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jafar also recorded himself singing these songs, so it's Michael Jackson's voice and Jafar's voice combined for some of the songs, I think, which is amazing and so sweet. Overall, though, the movie really kind of, I don't know, I didn't know much about Michael Jackson's life going into it, so it was kind of eye-opening for me. And there will be a part 2, I believe, because they did not show from beginning to end of his life. There is going to be a part 2 that is now in development, I think, but that's probably going to take a while. I don't know if they've filmed it yet. I would imagine they did, but if they said in development, then maybe not. But it really made me learn so much about his life, and honestly, I left that theater heartbroken for him. I know there was so much controversy in his life, and I'm not going to get into that. You know, I don't know the guy. I didn't know the guy. I will say, though, since watching the movie, like, I've gone down a rabbit hole of interviews and learning about his life, watching so many videos, and honestly my heart just breaks for him, because outside of the fame, outside of the money, his life was quite rough. You might even, you might know a thing or two about him or his life, but it just broke my heart. And there were a couple moments in the movie that made me cry. If you know about his life, then you probably know what I'm going to say, but I won't go into detail if you don't know. But his relationship with his father is something that really broke my heart. There was a scene early on in the movie that I immediately started crying when something happened, and it was just really sad. And there was another moment later on, if you know the Pepsi commercial incident, there were a couple really heartbreaking moments, and man, that guy did not catch a break in his life. It felt like there was always something happening to him or people attacking him, and it just really made me sad for him and his life and the way it ended. And yeah, I don't know, like, the music obviously was amazing in the movie. It wasn't all sad, like, it was really amazing. The way it was filmed, the way that they, I don't know, the way that they told his story, I thought was really, really great. Again, all the songs, everybody knows them. Whether you're a huge Michael Jackson fan or not, you know the songs. And so it was so fun just being in the theater, seeing this come to life. And I know for the Thriller scene, they actually filmed in the same location that Michael did for the actual Thriller video. So it was so cool to see all of that recreated. And even though Jafar is not Michael's twin, he definitely looked a lot like him in certain moments, more from afar than up close, I would say. But oh my gosh, there was one scene at the end of the movie, I think, when he was about to go, on stage, and he turns, and it's kind of like a side profile, and man, he looked just like him. So it was amazing. I highly recommend, if you haven't seen it, it's been out for a while now, so I think a lot of people have seen it already. If you haven't, you need to see it. I thought it was incredible, really well done. All the actors, the little boy who played Michael as a kid was so sweet. You could tell that so much love and care was put into this movie, and also Michael Jackson's oldest son, Prince, was involved in producing the movie, which I thought was amazing. He was even on set every day, he said in an interview, and seeing his cousin Jafar become Michael, I think made him quite emotional. He even said in an interview that he had to step out a couple times to just kind of compose himself, because it felt like he was watching his dad perform, which he never got to see in real life. It's just amazing. So the fact that a couple of his children were involved, his whole family was involved in making the movie, is so special and so cool. And yeah, as I said, I've just been doing a ton of like watching interviews and learning about his life, and yeah, I don't know, I'm just honestly heartbroken for him and how his life ended and what he had to go through throughout his life, it just felt like, and this is just me learning about him now, again, I know I didn't know him, but he seemed like a really pure soul. He seemed like the kind of person who never got to have a childhood, so he kind of was trying to live out that childhood dream as he got older, and I just feel like he had a good heart, but unfortunately, when you have a good heart and you're a really kind soul, the world can take advantage of that, people can take advantage of that, and yeah, it's sad, really. It's a sad story at the end of the day, but overall the movie was super enjoyable, so 10 out of 10, highly recommend, and I'm looking forward to part 2, although I'm sure it's going to be much darker and sad. I mean, I don't know what they're going to go into, especially in relation to all the controversy. I don't know how they're going to do that, especially when his family's involved in the movie. I don't think it's going to be massively dark, but it's going to be realistic to how his life ended, so it'll be interesting, but I'm looking forward to when that comes out. But that is it. I think this video was mainly me talking about movies and shows and me hiking, but I hope you enjoyed anyway. Today, it's like I said, it's a day off. We're gonna head into Bath today, and we're gonna go into lots of outdoor shops. I'm thinking about buying some new boots. Actually, I need some new boots for this hike coming up. So a bit more shopping today. We might just take it slow. We might go into the M&S cafe, have a drink, like just keep it chill. It's not the hottest day. It's actually kind of cool and rainy, so we're just keeping it simple today. But I'm looking forward to it. It'll be quite relaxed. So I'm not going to film any of it because it's just not the nicest day and it's nothing amazing, but I'm going to get going. Hopefully I can get this video up very, very soon, but I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.